The trial of the man accused of orchestrating the murder of a heavily pregnant Tshegofatso Pule has been reopened. Ntuthuko Shoba submitted new video footage to the High Court in his bid to prove that he had nothing to do with the murder of his late girlfriend in 2020. Ntuthuko struck a deal with the state and is already serving his sentence for committing the murder. Let's get you an update on this story and find out how Shoba believes it'll prove his innocence. Our reporter Linda Mnisi has been in court all day, Linda, and what exactly does this video show?
So in this video, Tembekile, we have that 3 minutes that, remains a mystery at this point in terms of what, it does for this particular case. You'll remember that we heard how there was 3 minutes that was unaccounted for because there was video footage, or rather the cameras were motion sensitive and they only record once there's motion, but we were told it stopped, and that is why there was that 3 minutes. And it's critical time because it's the moment when Tshegofatso Pule goes into that particular vehicle. So you'll remember that Ntuthuko Shoba said he walked her out but did not have any interaction with the convicted killer. Now they're talking here about the times in which these things happened. Ntuthuko Shoba now saying with this video that in fact he went back into the complex at 6 minutes past 10, which means he couldn't have spent 3 minutes outside in the presence of Tshegofatso Pule and this Jeep. He said he couldn't have spent 3 minutes. He spent a bit of some time. But the state coming back to Migile saying that, in fact, that is not true. If you look at the very same video, it shows that he went in at 9 minutes past 10 when the Jeep was pulling off. So, which means the 3 minutes is still there, and which means that he still has to account. But of course, he says it couldn't have been 3 minutes, so we don't have his version of what could have happened at the time.
And we've got that footage from earlier. I'm just going to ask that we bring it up, please, so that everyone can just have a look at what was actually shown in court as Linda and I continue our conversation. So Shoba is confident then that these few minutes of video footage would show that he was not involved in the murder. How exactly?
Yeah, you'll remember that during his testimony, the state star witness, Ntuthuko, testified that, in fact, they had a brief conversation convincing Tshegofatso Pule to go into this vehicle. She was very reluctant, asking who this car belonged to, who this person is. And you can see there on that video, Tembekile, she goes towards the vehicle, and then Ntuthuko Shoba is left behind. Ntuthuko said he was 7 or 8 meters behind. But when he goes back, it's then 3 minutes later from that 22:06. It's 22:09. So he says he couldn't have had a conversation with Ntuthuko during that time. But now the state is saying you stayed outside for 3 minutes and you need to explain what it is that you were doing outside, because Ntuthuko has told us that you had an interaction, but he says it couldn't have been 3 minutes.
We're saying this issue has been reopened. What exactly does that mean, and how do we move forward?
So during, a criminal trial, an accused person can bring an application to reopen their case. The state can do that as well. But what that means is that they go back to their evidence to submit something that they want the court to consider. Obviously, it would also have to be evidence that has been previously brought before to the court, and this is exactly what has happened here. The court is in possession of the stills of that particular video. Ntuthuko Shoba just wanted the court to have a look at the video itself and what happens in that particular video. So after what happened today, Ntuthuko Shoba closed his case, meaning they're done. The next time he appears in court, it would be for judgment.
And you've also been able to speak to the family of Tshegofatso Pule, still very hurt, especially by the delays now, they're saying, in their access, basically, or them seeing justice being done.
Yeah, you'll remember that there was great anticipation around what exactly is contained in this video. Could he be showing them something else that they perhaps were not aware of? But, to their surprise, it was this very same video that had been discussed previously in court, and they were quite upset about what has happened. I want to show you, what happened straight after the judge adjourned for today. Okay.
But what is of significance here that we wish the court to take note of is that as soon as the deceased walked to the vehicle and the accused turned around, it is then that you start having these problems of the time. And the issue, really, the inference that was sought to be drawn would be what happened between 2006 and 2009. And whether from inside or from outside, there does not seem to be any indication from the video footage. And what we are left with is the natural understanding and assumption of the accused that he wouldn't have been more than 3 minutes after he had been there outside after the vehicle.
He knows very well. Young Jesus, he did the very same thing. One nigga one beggar for the last time. No, one beggar for the last time. Yeah, I know you very well, but you don't know fat. But it's okay. That's no need. The day will come. Don't care whether we are in a case or not, but the day will come. Never learn. Never.
So Tshegofatso Pule's family is still quite hurt, as you would have seen there. Linda, put those pictures in context. The woman who said, whether you win this case or not, the day will come. And you wonder when the day will come. When do they go back to court?
The 25th of March, we're expecting judgment to this matter, and that taking into consideration that any of the parties may bring an application like we saw right now. You'll remember the last time that, they appeared in court, the state and both the defense had in fact closed their cases, saying that they were done and now awaiting judgment. Now this application now to reopen the case comes at a time when we're waiting for judgment in this particular matter. So then on the 25th of March we finally have a date. You'll remember the last time the judge had not issued out a date as to when he will hand down his judgment. Okay. But today we then know that come the 25th of March, Ntuthuko Shoba will know his fate.
Linda Mnisi, thank you very much for that. Linda has been tracking the Tshegofatso Pule murder trial. It's the murder trial of Ntuthuko Shoba.